Let's talk about Hens, or Kότες in Greek, translated by Meeple on board, by the way, who also sent us this one for unboxing reviews and the like. I have this look on my face because of the theme, obviously, because we're more on the fantasy theme kind of people, but Hens may be a new era in our lives. And I say theme when in reality, let's be fair, the game is quite abstract, so it's more of the artwork and the looks of the cards and the whole situation with the names of the Hens and their attitude, sass, and fluffiness. They all have their own personalities and it's fun. Also, the theme is quite deceiving because even if the game has a very simple set of rules, it has quite a lot of strategy involved and it's very hard to put all the Hens in the coop without messing things up. When you first listen to the rules, you think it's easy, I got this, and then you start playing and you realize that you don't have this, especially the first couple of times, and they don't fit with each other the way you think they would. But that's the fun of the game as well. We generally love these kinds of games that have very simple rules, quite a lot of strategy, and they play quite fast, so it's easy to squeeze them in any gaming session, really. Now, while it looks like a game that would get repetitive quite fast, it has some common goals that add a twist to the general strategy and force you to get out of your comfort zone in a sense. If it weren't for those, the strategy would always be quite the same, so that's a nice addition to the game. On a similar note, while at its core it's a set collection game, and we've seen a lot of those, the fact that you can draw cards from the top of the deck but also from the top of the discard pile of any other player but your own make the game quite unique. Also, the fact that you can place your rooster halfway through the game without having all the information you need to see how that will score spices things up even more. Do keep in mind that while the strategy is quite deep and there is a lot to think about, it's also a game that is quite reliant on luck. You need the red cards to show up at some point in the game, and if they don't, or they end up in your opponent's hands, they can choose to never give them to you. Now, generally that would be something that we don't like in games, but this one plays quite fast, so it's not a big deal if you get a bit unlucky and you lose a game. You can always start another. Another thing that's deceiving about this game is the space it takes up. With 4 players, having 12 cards in front of each player takes up quite a bit of space on the table, so be ready for that. Even though it's a small box, depending on the number of players, it can take up a lot of space on the table. All in all, it may not be truly unique or anything very special, but I think it's a keeper. The theme actually makes a difference, and I don't know how we would feel about it if it wasn't about Hens or Kότες. Have you played the game, and if so, how did you feel about it? Are you as excited as we are about the theme? Because we may be getting old, but